5:30 over the last few months, we've been following the journey of a Louisville family fighting to find the best care for their son with autism, whose violent outbursts made it impossible to live at home.
But we live in a state that doesn't have residential care for those with severe autism. And so he's living 700 miles away from his family, getting the care he needs in Kansas. And he's not the only one. Our Brooke Hash sifted through Kentucky state records from the last 2 years and found close to 130 kids and young adults with severe intellectual or physical disabilities are being sent out of state for help they can't get at home. That's close to $15 million a year in Kentucky Medicaid funds spent out of state on out-of-state programs.
Now, we've followed families to Frankfort, as you've seen, to plead their case, hoping to find enough lawmakers who will make autism services more of a priority. It's a similar story in the state of Indiana. Our Brooke Hash met a Charlestown family who says it's the same struggle for adults with autism, so much so that they're packing up and leaving Indiana.
This is Skylar's story.
Come here, bud.
Skylar Hellmann.
Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat, have a seat, have a seat.
Is rarely in the same place for long.
He is constant movement.
His parents, Lori and Josh, are never more than an arm's length away.
I think we've slept maybe every other day for the last couple months.
Do you want to sit there?
Skylar has profound autism, meaning he's on the severe end of the spectrum.
He's never uttered a word. He's been nonverbal his entire life.
Diagnosed as a toddler, he's been eligible for a variety of Medicaid-funded therapies to help him reach his full potential.
When he used to go to his ABA center, that was our 8 to 4 Monday through Friday reprieve, so we could do our jobs and have just a moment to clean the house or do anything.
Left foot, please.
That ended
Thank you.
when Skylar turned 22.
Families like ours know this is coming. This is like our doomsday.
The day Medicaid cut his funding and all the programs attached to it.
Medicaid decided that if they're not doing certain things by a certain age, they weren't going to ever do them. So they made the magic age of 22 of cutting off traditional programs and services. He could continue at the ABA program that we had him in, but we would have been out of pocket for almost the entirety of it. And it's like thousands and thousands of dollars for him to go every day.
Are there adult programs in Indiana?
There are none in Indiana, and there is one that I know of in Kentucky in the Louisville area, and the wait list we've been on for 3 years now, and there's no movement. So there is nowhere for him to go. There's no wait list for him to be on. He is home with us 24/7. So now we don't have a break.
We've had 15 people come in here for potential respite. They've all come into our home. They've all met Skylar. Not one of them came back.
It's not easy on a family, on a marriage, just on any scenario you could throw out there. And the sad thing is we are just one of hundreds of families just in this Kentuckiana area.
There we go, bub. Good job. Keep it going.
Today, 1 in 31 kids in the U.S. are diagnosed with autism. Around 27% of them will need round-the-clock care the rest of their life.
Step up, step up. There's so much attention on early diagnosis, and rightfully so. But what happens next?
We're never gonna not be caregivers. This is our life until Josh and I pass away. And our biggest fear at night is what's gonna happen to Skylar when we're not here. We all come to the same conclusion, like, why isn't anybody helping us? No one else should have to rescue us, so to speak, but there has to be a better answer.
They've spoken to everyone at the state capitol who would listen.
When she had talked to lawmakers here in Indiana, she wrote the bill. She sent it to them. They didn't have to do any of the work.
Every time when I followed up, it was, well, this wasn't as pressing of an issue when we were in session as some other things, so this has to take a back seat.
They were spending their time voting on the official sandwich of the state of Indiana. So that just shows me where priorities lie.
It's just never at the top of anyone's mind. We're constantly left behind.
But moving forward means moving away.
We have to do what's best for us, and we're moving. We've settled on Colorado. They're the #1 state for adult services for those with disabilities. So we're packing up and we're going. He'll do horse riding there. He'll continue with his spelling program that we have here, and he has a practitioner there to work with him. There's a day program that's ready to accept him as soon as we get there. It's just getting there.
Yet another family moving hundreds of miles away to get the autism services so desperately needed in their home state.
This is the life that so many families are living behind closed doors. We just don't want to keep talking about it because people just can't relate. So the people who can relate, I just want them to know they're not alone.
Because it is isolating for everyone involved.
I would give anything for him to have a friend. That's gonna make me emotional.
Yogurt?
It's just always been us. He's only ever had us.
I feel like we're his only buddies. And he is just the coolest dude in the world.
He has so much to offer the world. And I just want people to see the gifts that he has and just how much he can change the world just by knowing him.
Not quite yet.
In Charlestown with photojournalist Jessica Farley, Brooke Hash, WHAS 11 on your side.
By the way, it is estimated at least 100,000 people in the state of Indiana are living with autism.
And in Kentucky, it's more than 83,000, the majority of whom are adults.